Hello, welcome to my month 5 planning video. I'm Julianne and this series is all about my progress towards reading down my TBR and reaching TBR 0. If you've not watched my videos before, please do check out the rest of my channel where you can see the rules for this challenge, you can see my progress so far, you can see my other planning videos, but today I am planning my month 5. So in case you're not aware, I am filming these videos 2 months in advance of when they actually go up. This is because my life has fluctuating busy periods, and so I wanted to be able to produce all of the videos in advance so that I wouldn't get stressed about it, because I found that very difficult when I used to just kind of post like monthly updates to this channel about what I was reading, and I wanted this project to be different and much less stressful. So yeah, here we are. If I refer to it being November 2023, that's why. So I wanted to start this video with a bit of a reflection, because the last couple of months have not gone well for reading physical books. I spent August and September reading a lot of library books from the library at my previous job, and then I changed job and I had a couple of weeks off, and I actually spent most of that time writing, which is really, really good, but I did not do as much reading as I would have liked last month. So in fact I only finished 4 physical books I think in October, and that is obviously not made a great deal of progress on my TBR. I've also been doing this project in the TBR 0 process of reading all of my outstanding Illumicrate books. So I have been an Illumicrate subscriber from the very beginning. It was actually founded by one of my friends, and I have therefore got a lot of books that I just have not kept up with. My friend Debbie, who also works for Illumicrate, suggested that what I could do is I could each month read all of my outstanding books that came out in that month. And so I decided that I thought this was a brilliant idea, and this worked really well for the first month, kind of okay in the second month, and then the whales came off and it has not worked at all. In October I read, I finished one of the more recent Illumicrate books, and then I read the one which was in the read along for that month, and yeah, that was it. It was not great. I did start a third, but that again was not a previous year's book. That was actually a book that was published this year, and so yeah, not brilliant. So what I've decided to do is to wipe the slate clean. I am no longer going to be piling on books to that Illumicrate TBR. I am going to just have to accept that I will be doing this Illumicrate project again next year. Maybe some months I won't have any previous months Illumicrate books to read. Some months I will. But yeah, that is just what I'm going to have to accept. I really didn't want to accept it. I thought I could get back on top of it. I thought when I had time off that I could read the books that I had missed in the previous months, but that didn't happen because, let's be honest, a lot of these books are very big. big old hardbacks, or even paperbacks. This is like a proof of City and Brass, and it is huge. Like it's just not happening. It's just not happening. It's just not realistic. And so I was just like ending up with like 3 different TBR piles in my office, and yeah, nothing was changing. I think it was just making me feel bad seeing all those piles. So I'm wiping the slate clean. The pile is no longer accumulating. I have just gone through and picked out all of the November Illumicrate books from the past. And I've also picked out the December ones, not because the November pile is by any means small, but because it would be really nice for me to get the December ones out of the way early so I can then read some Christmas books in December. I don't actually have many Christmas books on my physical TBR, so this will involve getting library books, but I've decided I am not going to go to the physical library, because that will just do what happened at the start of this year, this calendar year, all over again. And what happened was I did not finish all of the Christmas books that I borrowed in December, or even within the 12 days of Christmas going into January, and so I had all these Christmas books kind of lurking around that I wanted to finish but I wasn't really in the mood for anymore. They didn't feel seasonally appropriate, and so yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get ebooks. I'm going to try and just get one at a time, because I also have audiobooks. I have access to lots of Christmas audiobooks, so there's no need. It's fine. I will deal with that. And if I have to buy some, I have to buy some. It's totally fine. It's just started raining, isn't that nice? So I'm going to tell you about all of the books which are on my TBR pile for November. There is quite a lot, so I don't think I'm going to achieve this dream. I think that yeah, if I read some of them, I'm going to be really happy. And so I think I should prioritise with the ones that I am most interested in reading. So, first of all, the one I have to mention, which I keep forgetting to mention in these videos, is the most recent Illumicrate book, which there will be a read-along for at some point in November. And I'll just hit myself in the head with it. That was graceful. Yeah, this is After the Forest by Kel Woods, and this is yeah, this is new, but I won't be picking it up until the read-along begins. So this is sort of on the side for now. It's not one to pick from to begin my reading in November. I should also mention that I'm currently reading Zahara, which was the Illumicrate book a couple of months ago. I missed the read-along for this one because I hadn't finished the book before. So I have started this, but I've only just started it. I'm not very far along. So I don't think this really counts as a book from last month, but hey, we'll see how we get on. We see how we get along with it. Hopefully, I can finish it soon and then move on to the rest of the books, which I'll talk about in this video. So the rest of these I'm going to talk about in the order in which I hope to read them, the books that I'm most excited about reading. So first up is Blood for Blood, which is a sequel to Wolf by Wolf, which was like a really early Illumicrate book. And they put this in a subsequent box and kind of as like a bonus book. And I have intended to buddy read this so many times with my best friend. I think she must have read it twice by now. But I'm actually going to do this time because it is on the list. Now, what I'm not sure about is will I have to reread Wolf by Wolf first? I don't think so, because I do remember it pretty well. And if I can find a recap somewhere online, I think I might get out of it. But I'm going to try and give this a go and see. If I think I do need to reread Wolf by Wolf, first, I might bump it because these books are long. I do not have time for rereads this month. I might just have to go to the bottom of the pile, and I'll do it if I do everything else, which means I probably won't do it. Is this a chaotic plan? A little bit, but hopefully it will work out better than the previous one. My next priority is to finish reading A Marvellous Light. Now, I am actually a little bit through this because earlier in the year or last year, I can't remember, I thought I would read this before the sequel in the matching edition went onto the Illumicrate shop. This was my intention. I started it and I didn't have time. I bought the sequel anyway because I really enjoyed what I had read. I was really, really intrigued. And now the third one's out. I would really like to read this, read the sequel, and then buy the third book. If I do read this, then whether I read the sequel or not this month will just depend on how fast I think it is. This is not the longest hardback in the world, so I might be able to fit the sequel in, but we'll see. If I'm really into it, then I might just read the sequel right away. If not, I might leave it till next month and just buy the third one anyway. So there we go. Also in the Illumicrate shop is the sequel to The Luminaries. This is such a beautiful edition. This was the first book published by Daphne Press. Yeah, I have wanted to read this for a while. This will be my first Susan Dennard. I think I tried reading her previous series, which was also the first one was in Illumicrate. But I tried listening to an audiobook and I did not get on with that audiobook at all. So I really need to go back and try reading it in print, and I will when we get to that point of the year for it next year. But I'm going to go and do this first, that's the plan. Because the second one is in the Illumicrate shop, and so I'd really like to be able to buy the matching set if I like it. When I say if I like it, what I mean really is I like it enough to buy the matching set, and that means that I think it will be a reread, and that is not most books. Most books I like them and I want to read the sequel, but I don't think I'll reread it, and in that case I'm not buying the matching set. So yeah, it really isn't like a big diss on the book if I don't buy the rest of the matching set. because sometimes I will still really like it, but I'll like read the sequel ebook or something because I just don't think I'll reread the whole series, and I feel like I need to want to reread the whole series in order to buy the set. And some of like my favourite, most admired books are books where I don't think I'll reread them. Like, I'm not sure I'll ever read the Green Bone Saga, and oh my god, that last book destroyed me. I thought it was so well done. It's so genius. I am recommending it to people all of the time, but you know, although I may reread it at some point in my life, I don't think I'll reread it enough to justify having an expensive, beautiful set. So there we go. And the third book, which falls into that category of having a sequel currently in the Illumicrate shop, is Little Thieves. So yeah, again, prioritising this very beautiful edition to see if it's that kind of books I want to reread. Before I continue, I should mention that A Marvellous Light is actually one of the December books, but again, it's in the shop. I want to be able to have the opportunity to buy the beautiful matching edition while I can, if I like it. So there we go. Where are we? So next up, looking at the books that I have remaining, I think the one I would most like to read is The Once and Future Witches, because I have heard amazing things about this book, amazing things about this author, so that is going to go next on the list. I think this is a standalone, so I don't think there is like anything coming after it, so that's great. That will just be one that gets ticked off. If I love it, then I'll treasure the copy forever. If not, I'll find it a new home, but I feel like I'm pretty much guaranteed to love it because I've heard such amazing things about that book. And then we can have the rest. We have The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, which is this gorgeous naked hardback edition. It's just beautiful. I have so many hardbacks. I honestly don't know if I'll get to this one, but it is next on the list. And then, oh, what do we have? So I think this is a standalone, so I think this should be next. I also think that, where are we? Artemis is standalone as well, so let's pop that one on the list after that. And then I think the remaining 3 books, The Diabolic, City of Brass, and Wild Magic, are all first in the series, so let's put those on the bottom because if I like them when I read them, they will create more on my TBR. I think The Diabolic may be like a duology, a duo, a pair. I really am against the word duology. It just bothers me for some reason. And then the remaining December books are Blood Air, which is the first in a trilogy, and The Red Scholar's Wake. Is The Red Scholar's Wake a first in series? It's not. It's actually the most recent one in like this massive interlocking world thing. But it looks like it's basically a standalone, so that's good. But yeah, intriguing that it's part of this like big world that the author's created and has written lots of stuff in. Yeah, I'm just gonna check The Diabolic as well. Okay, no, The Diabolic is in fact a trilogy, part of a trilogy. So yeah, again, that and Blood Air, I think, like really at the bottom. And then yeah, The City of Brass is obviously first in a trilogy as well. Wild Magic is like first in a quartet, but it's really short. And I would like to read some Tamora Pierce. I never read Tamora Pierce when I was a teenager. My best friend at school did, but I did not. So there we go. That is everything. That is a lot of books. That is so many books. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm not going to read 15 books in November. Let's be realistic. But we'll see. Anything that I don't read in November, I think we'll just have to roll forward. Because I don't have a new planner yet, I'm waiting for mine to arrive for the next year. I don't know how many Illumicrate books there are to read in January because I haven't made that list. But potentially some of these can get moved on to January, but we'll see. I think I'm going to have to start a new rule. I shouldn't technically do a rule change yet because I haven't read 50 books. But I'm gonna make a sort of informal rule, because they're my rules and I make them up, that I can only roll over 3 books maximum to the next month, otherwise I've got to wipe the slate clean. So there we go. That's my plan. In terms of my time, November should be quite a good month for cosy reading times. So cross your fingers for me, wish me luck, leave any tips in the comments, let me know what you think of my priorities. And thank you so much for watching. You'll see me again soon. Bye!